what's really important to know, and the game-changing piece of knowledge that you need when you get injured at a hotel, motel, inn, bed and breakfast, campground, or other place of public accommodation, is that they have what they call a heightened duty of care. First of all, it's terrible because your vacation that you likely saved for and paid for many months or years has been ruined by an injury as a result of someone's carelessness or negligence. Okay, heightened duty of care. That's a very lawyer, legalese way to say something, but here's what it means. In general society, we all have a duty of care to each other. Basically, to act reasonable under any like or similar circumstances. So we don't want to act crazy, we don't want to act careless, we want to make sure we're acting prudent under whatever circumstances that we're in, so that we don't do something to cause injury to another person. That's the standard duty of care, generally speaking, and it's pretty consistent across the country. But hotels, motels, inns, bed and breakfasts, campgrounds, places of public accommodation that invite you to pay for the right to stay and sleep and reside essentially with them temporarily, have a heightened duty of care in our system. That heightened duty of care means that they have to go the extra step, the extra mile, so to speak, to protect their patrons, to protect people on their properties. And what people don't often know is that requires more than just being reasonably prudent. That requires more than just being not careless. They actually have to take extra steps. Think wet floor signs. Think immediately fixing something that's broken. Think warnings, regular warnings. These types of steps need to be taken to protect their patrons. And if they don't do that, you as the injured person have the right to pursue a claim, and you'll have an easier time proving their responsibility because of their heightened duty of care. That's what helps the person who's a patron. So that extra level that they have to go to that they might not have would tell you that they are more responsible for your injury than a regular person would be in like or similar circumstances, because they have a heightened duty of care. Now, the next step to that is just the same as any other injury case. I've done videos on car accidents, on slip and falls, in grocery stores and on ice, on workers' comp injuries, and it's all the same. When you get hurt, you have to take the following steps. You have to take out your evidence collecting device, your phone. You have to take pictures of the defect that caused your injury. You have to get people's information. You have to look for surveillance footage. And in a hotel or on a campground or other place of public accommodation, they are going to likely have surveillance footage. So make sure something in writing goes to that hotel, to the owner, manager, whoever, the person on duty that works there, to make sure they preserve that video. That's really important. You don't want to go 30 days and make sure that video gets copied over by the hotel's internal system and then the evidence is gone. You don't want to have a situation where that person who witnessed your incident, who's from California, when you're in New York, or from Chicago and you're in Florida, and you're never going to see them again, and you don't have their contact information, and they're an essential witness to your case. You want to make sure you get that information. Pictures, witnesses, video, those are so important. They're the most crucial pieces of evidence when an incident like this occurs. We were able to procure a very generous settlement for a little girl who was injured at a campground. She was 6 or 7 years old, and she went camping with her family. And unfortunately, the setup of the campground resulted in what happens as follows. The little girl was playing on one of the dirt roads with her brother and some cousins and friends. And a very large RV came into the campground to go to their campsite. In order for that very large RV to traverse the dirt roads of the campground, it had to cut across the corner of this little girl's family's campsite. As the RV is coming down the road, a campground personnel is telling everyone, get off the road, back up, back up, back up. And the little girl backed her way off the road right into a fire pit. That fire pit, on top of the fact that it was pretty close to the road, was a metal fire pit with no stone rim around it. So when she backed into the fire pit, the backs of her legs got burned by the metal of the fire pit. It was her father's quick action that scooped her up before she fell into the actual flames. And she had what ended up being nasty burns on the back of her leg. So, who's responsible for this? It's an interesting question. It's an interesting case. In this particular case, what ended up happening was we brought an action against the campground, and the theory was that they had a heightened duty of care. They are a place of public accommodation. In designing a campground such that the roads were not wide enough for the RVs and campers that were coming in, and the personnel actually getting the children off of the road and not doing so in a safe manner, in the design of the fire pits without the protective layer of stone around them, which we actually learned was a violation of local ordinance in the area of that campground, the campground was responsible. Thankfully, the little girl made a pretty good recovery physically. We were able to make a very generous settlement for her, ultimately after a lengthy litigation, but we fought tooth and nail on the heightened duty of care, on the local regulation about fire pits, and just generally speaking about the negligence of the personnel themselves. This is a great example of where someone who was injured in the context of a place of public accommodation had a leg up over the defendant and the insurance company because the heightened duty of care existed for places of public accommodation like campgrounds. What's important to know is that campgrounds, hotels, motels, B&Bs, these places of public accommodation all have sizable insurance policies designed to protect the people that are patrons to the hotel. If you bring an action against one of them, you're going to be fighting with an insurance company just like almost any other personal injury claim. Take all the steps we talk about in all of our personal injury videos. Take pictures, videos, get witness statements, look for surveillance footage, make sure you get to the medical treatment that you need, and call the attorney. Call me. Let me get involved right away so I can protect your rights and I can procure that evidence. My investigation starts sooner, it's better for you. There are so many different ways to get injured at a hotel or a campground, and just some of them off the top of my head are the obvious. You could slip and fall on a recently mopped wet floor, or someone could have spilled a drink and you slipped and fell before they clean it up. You could drown in a pool. Okay, you could get some sort of illness, but what's important to know is that no matter how you get injured, a personal injury attorney can likely help. If you want to learn more about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the personal injury industry, come back and subscribe to my channel, watch more videos, and you'll be armed with all the information you need no matter where you get injured.